Hey there, boot campers. This is Sarah Harnish. It's good to see you guys again. Y'all ready for some oil adrenaline? It is game plan time. I'm Young Living Platinum Sarah Harnish. I'm also the author of the Game Plan book. Looks like this, Game Plan, the complete strategy guide to go from starter kit to silver. You can find it on Amazon if you haven't picked up a copy of it yet. And you're very, very welcome to join our boot camp at any time. You're not behind. You're never, ever, ever behind. If you have missed the other videos, I recommend that you start through video 1 and do them in order. There are 25 days of boot camp based on the Game Plan book, which is a strategy guide to launch or catapult a young living small business. So you can find all that you need, all the boot camp videos in order at one place at oilabilityteam.com. So oilabilityteam.com. Look at all you guys who are sticking with it the whole way. I'm so proud of you. It's crazy. This is a hard boot camp and you guys are like in it to win it. So tonight's oil is cedarwood, and I'm going to show you a little trick with cedarwood. This is something that I learned when I was doing my raindrop training, when I did my raindrop certification. You guys ever have, you're ever in a place where you just really need to focus and you just got to get things done? All right, I'm going to give you a tip, but you cannot do this in public because it is total public humiliation with oils, all right? Total public humiliation. You take cedarwood and you put 1 drop of it on your thumb. Normally I just drop it on my thumb and don't do it like this, but I'm holding my phone with my other hand. So you take it and you drop it, 1 drop on your thumb. So I have some on my thumb. Then I want you to take it. I want you to touch the roof of your mouth and suck on your thumb for 60 seconds like this. We're suck on it. We're good. Yeah, okay. So take your cedarwood and just suck on it for 60 seconds, and it is like focus. It's a wonderful, wonderful focus oil. And since we're going to be talking about taxes today, I figured this would be a really good night to do some cedarwood. Right? I'm telling you, this little bottle of cedarwood got me through 2 aroma chemistry courses. And chemistry ain't my thing, all right? What do? I write books. And I talk. I don't do chemistry. Well, it's a kick in the pants, I'll tell you that. I'm going to have to cedarwood my mouth. It's cedarwood forever, right? But it's a really, really good little trick. So topical, internal, or aromatic, I would say that's probably all 3 applications right there, all 3. So obviously for topical use, cedarwood, and for your internal use, cedarwood vitality on your thumb. But so y'all ready for tonight? Tonight I load your hands with tools. I've got a whole bunch of tools for you. We're going to talk about oily tools, Taxbot, and more. By now, even if you're brand spanking new, you've walked through 1 full cycle of your young living business with me. So you know how to market your classes. We trained you how to ask 3 people to invite 50 to your class, right? And then how to market them. We've trained you also how to host your class. So what do you do on class day? What happens when they all walk in the door? Like, what do you say? And then we trained you how to do follow-up, and we'll have pictures and stuff of the purple bags that you can use. If you rinse and repeat with those 3 things, market your class, host your class, do follow-up, and then train your leaders, rinse and repeat, you're going to be following in the footsteps of the diamonds, crown diamonds, and royal crown diamonds that have gone before you. Okay, you're like this close to them. You just got to keep rinsing and repeating, and it's going to take a lot of rinsing and repeating, but you will rank up. All right, you will rank up. If you hold 4 to 6 classes a month, every single one of my silvers attained silver rank within 6 months with that kind of volume. So if your goal is to hit silver and you want that $2,000 to $3,000 a month income in young living, 4 to 6 classes a month. I would say 1 class a week. Just get it in your schedule and work at it. 1 class a week is enough. Generally, depending on how many people are coming to your classes, but for the most part, if you're doing one-on-ones, it's going to take a little longer. But generally, 4 to 6 classes a month is enough volume to be able to get you to silver in 6. And silver is the game changer check. That's why I wrote the book to silver rank, all right? Usually when you're bringing in another $2,000 to $3,000 a month, you can start knocking some things off of your plate. You can start getting some things off of your plate. That's why I wrote Game Plan from starter kit to silver, because once you hit silver, the rules of the game change just a little bit, and it's time to move your chess pieces around to make sure that your strategy is still fresh and still good. And all of that I'm saving for Game Plan 2. So we'll have that in the Game Plan 2 book, but we're focusing on Game Plan 1 right now. Let me give you some resources tonight that are going to motivate motivate you, inspire you, and more than anything, keep you on track for gold. How about going from silver to gold? That's going to be in Game Plan 2. So look for Game Plan 2. Otherwise, we would have had a 600-page book to read, right? And you guys don't want a 600-page book. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pages of notes for Game Plan 2. So I'm working on it. That's going to take a little longer. Give me a little bit more time on that one, all right? So let me give you some resources, though, that are going to motivate you and inspire you. And more than anything, they're going to keep you on track in your goal to be able to get to silver and get that silver income in your house. So tool number 1 is Oily Tools. Oily Tools, written by Crown Diamond Jake Dempsey, who's a software developer like my husband. This is a cell phone app for your phone. And believe it or not, I actually went and got a new phone today, so I can show you on my old phone exactly what Oily Tools look like and how you'd be able to use Oily Tools, because it's a wonderful program. It's about $7 a month, absolutely worth every single penny. So this is what the Oily Tools app looks like on your cell phone. It's a little bit blurry. Let's see if I can get it to crisp up a little bit. So that's what Oily Tools looks like. It's nice because it breaks down your entire check for you. You can change it by rank, so it's set to gold right now, so I'll set it to platinum. Right now, you can see exactly where your paycheck is right in the middle of the month. So right now, our paycheck is a little over $6,000, and we're just over halfway through the month. Generations haven't kicked in yet, so we're usually in the $12,000 to $13,000 a month range right now as platinums. But it's nice because it breaks it down by your customer, starter kit bonus, fast start, unilevel, and you can see exactly what your paycheck's going to be if you're a star, senior star, if you're a silver, if you're an executive, if you're a gold. Then if you go to the second button in Oily Tools, I love this, the stats button, because it gives you all the stats on your team. You can look at your team's size. You can look at how many members you have. You can look at how many people are ordering. You can look at your projected OGV. So what your pace OGV is, what percentage of your team growth is. Right now we have 147,000 on Essential Rewards. I love looking at the ER button. We've grown by 17,000 OGV in Essential Rewards this month. That means that our team is out there and they're getting people on Essential Rewards, and you need that solid foundation of a base to be able to rank up. So then you're not starting at zero over and over and over again every single month. So I love that because you can track it in Oily Tools and see exactly how far you've come. And if you scroll down, you can see all of your leaders, all the people that have ranked, and how many leaders you have at every single rank. So it's a wonderful program. There's another button if you click on it all the way in the end, and it shows you who's going to miss their paycheck, the Money Misser report. If you click on that, it shows you who your new members are. It shows you, let's see, what's the one I like in here so much? Your new rankers. So I hit that new rankers button on Oily Tools every single month, and those are the people I mail Game Plan books to. Every single month. It's like, yeah, it is the old look. It is the old look. I'm sorry, showing you on my other phone. But yeah, so you can see who ranked up. And then what I do is I just make a list of all the people that ranked up that month on my team, and they're the ones that get the Game Plan book every single month on my team. We mail out about 100 to 150 of them every single month. So it's like the best $7 you can put into your business. Outside the virtual office, it's my favorite virtual tool. I did do the oil of the night. It was cedarwood for this evening for focusing, because we're going to be talking about taxes. So Oily Tools, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful resource. How many members do you recommend before investing in that? Honestly, I recommend doing it at Star. I really do, because there is very little that's a motivator other than seeing your paycheck at $130 and then setting it to Diamond and seeing what your paycheck would be at Diamond with that level, you know? Like you look at it and you're like, oh my gosh, I could be making that much if I was this rank up. So I encourage anybody who's out there holding classes regularly to spend the $7 and get it on their phone. If they sell one kit, they've already got the money back from it for the month. So it's a really, really good investment. All right. So the second thing I want to point you guys to is Taxbot. I have first-hand experience with Taxbot, like first-hand experience with Taxbot, with the worth of this software program, because John and I were literally audited by the IRS today. Like I spent the entire day today in Rochester with boxes of receipts, like showing them everything. They're like, your income's multiplied by 6 this year. Like, what's going on with your business? I was like, well, it's an enormously successful network marketing business. I can tell you, after coming out of that audit, I'm pretty confident we're going to have a new oiler on our team. Like that the auditing lady really was very interested in oils. She wrote down the name of the Game Plan book and our website and everything while we were in there. It was really funny, actually. But let me tell you, I think God likes to keep this business real for me. Like he really likes to keep my head humble. I'm going to post a couple of auditing pictures for you afterwards. Don't freak out that you're going to get audited by the IRS. We ranked really fast in our business. And so our income changed dramatically. So we were expecting for them to look into it and just see, which things. No, we actually don't need any prayers. God's got it covered because we walked right out of the audit and we're homies now with the lady that did the audit on us. She's an amazing woman. So suffices to say that we probably have a new oiler on our team and definitely a person who's going to purchase the Gameplan book. She was really interested in that. It went extremely well though, because we were so well documented, like so crazy well documented. Every time they asked for something, like we just whipped it right out because we had it all scanned in on Taxbot. We could literally go right to the month, pull it right out and hand it to her because we had digital copies of everything because of the Taxbot program. So very first year of our business, we had no idea what we were doing and it didn't matter because we used Taxbot. So because we had scanned all of our receipts in, we could prove everything they were asking for. And she walked away and she was like, check, 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 check. You're fine with me. Like I got no problems with your paperwork. It's ironclad, so it's a wonderful program that we just experienced the blessings of today. So I'll give you a couple of auditing photos from the IRS today when I'm done with this and you guys will crack up looking at them. So here are a few things that I did learn today that might help you a little bit. Save every receipt, like every single receipt. We were already very methodical about that from the beginning of our business, so we scanned them in right away and saved them. You can scan it right into Taxbot and categorize it right away. Like, it's awesome. It just puts it right into the category for you. You're going to need it later for your deductions for your business, so it's awesome. As I rank up, I did a lot of driving to get to my leaders. I actually drove 30,000 miles in 2015, and we were able to prove it because of Taxbot, Taxbot, Taxbot. All right, we were able to prove it because we had it all. We had it all in there. Did you know Taxbot will track your miles via satellite on your smartphone? So every time you drive, it literally uploads it right into the program just because your phone is on. So it's awesome. It tracks your mileage for you every single time you travel. It's $5 a month for Taxbot. So those two things, like Oily Tools and Taxbot, are worth every single penny. That $12 is like the best $12 you can put towards your business. Taxbot is normally $10 a month, but it's half off for Young Living members. And I have a code that they've given me that gives you the discount. So when I'm done with this, I'll pop that code up for you so you guys have it. Yeah, just because you're with Young Living. So it's awesome. Things that you can deduct, because people ask me this all the time. You can deduct the room where you do your Young Living business in your house. Can't deduct your entire house, but if you have an area set up that you do your Young Living business, you can deduct that room that you're doing it. Even if it's a closet, even if it's just a little office space, you can deduct that square footage. And then that percentage of your utilities you can also deduct. And the IRS had no problems with that. Like, they looked right through our paperwork. They were totally okay with it. I think it's really cool that I'm talking to you about this tonight, because I literally spent 4 hours in their office today asking them these questions, like, directly. So they had no issues at all with how we had deducted our square footage in our house, with our utilities, with our mileage. Was all ironclad. It was done perfectly. You can deduct business expenses like Taxbot and Oily Tools, paper, all that kind of stuff. You can deduct all of that. You just got to save your receipts so that you can prove it. So scan it into Taxbot and categorize it. So once a week or once a month, just put all the receipts into Taxbot. Take an hour and just do it, and you don't have to worry about being audited because you got all the documentation of everything you did. Mileage, yep, you get standard mileage whenever you're traveling, and I love to track that on the Taxbot app on my phone. Is awesome because it just puts it right in there for you. Business trips, you can deduct all of the stuff for that, the cost for that. Any meal that you have that is a business-related meal. So if you're eating with a leader and it's you and them, you can deduct 50% off of every meal that you eat that is Young Living related. So every time you do that, just save your receipt, put down who you were with, what you talked about, and scan it right into Taxbot and put it right up. Once you scan, can you destroy the receipts? You could, but we save ours just because I like paper copies. I like to save it. Yeah, so awards for your team, you can deduct up to $25 per person for your team. Scott, it's 57 cents a mile now is what she was telling me today. So... Oh, 57 cents a mile was last year, yeah. So employees that you use for bookkeeping, doing mailings, follow-up, or help at events, you can deduct all of them. You just have to fill out a 1099 for what you paid them, and then you give it to them, and you submit that when you submit your taxes. So Taxbot has wonderful, wonderful videos that literally walk you through every single thing that you can deduct. Their videos are fantastic. Another resources that I want to point you to that's specifically for small businesses and for Young Living specifically is written by a friend of mine, just so you don't forget to scan in some some receipts, some things that you might be able to get deductions for, is a book called What Can I Deduct? It's record keeping tips to minimize your taxes. It's written by Dee Stone, who's a good friend of mine. We actually had booths right next to each other and hung out all day at AromaShare when we were at convention last year. She's a wonderful woman. And that book is great because sometimes you just may not know what you can deduct. Yeah, I know John is hollering in the background because he's my tax guy. He handles all the money for us, so he knows what we're doing. And he sat through all the IRS stuff today with me. So that book is great because it just gives you some ideas on things you may have missed, to be able to deduct. So I'd recommend you get it and just read through it once and add it to your Young Living library. It's really good. Again, her name is Dee Stone, and you can find her book at whatcanideductbook.com. And I'll put that link up on the website, the webpage or the Facebook page as soon as I'm done. Resource number 3 is the iBloom Planner. I love the iBloom Planner. This is mine. It's all scribbled in, and my other one is like so beat up because I put everything in there, like all my thoughts are in there. I love this planner because it's Jesus inspired, and it's got practical places for tracking your team, writing down your essential rewards orders, keeping track of your day and your goals. So, to all of those who still want an iBloom planner, for everybody else, she has given us a 25% off coupon for all Gameplan users. So anybody who's on this boot camp, who's watching these videos, can go to ibloom.us and click on the planner, and when you get to the checkout screen, there's going to ask for a coupon code. You type in Gameplan, 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 and it'll give you a 25% discount for every single person who's doing the boot camp. All right, 25% off. So ibloom.us. It's a wonderful planner, and I do recommend it. I've used it now for 3 years, and I really like it. Resource number 4, the last resource. I'm on the last 4 minutes of the boot camp here for tonight, and I'm sticking to it. I told you I was going to do a double time. So resource number 4 is Oilability. All right, Oilability. What is the Oilability system? Many of you guys have asked that of me. You guys know about the Game Plan book because you're on the boot camp right now. So you already know about the book. Do you know the system, though? Do you know how the system works? Do you know how to use this to train your leaders? I told you I was going to do the Game Plan boot camp so I could teach you how to use this to train your leaders. There's a 7-step process for training your leaders, okay? 7-step process. Step number 1 is to give them Game Plan Mini. It's for people who don't know anything about the business. They may not even know what Young Living is. It shows them the business side and gets them to stack up Young Living against what they're doing right now. So you give them Game Plan Mini. That's step 1. Step 2, when they're interested and they show an interest in the business, they're not ready for this yet. In the back of this book, the back of the main Game Plan book, is an appendix with a 3-page teacher training. So you do that teacher training with them. It's going to give them some homework assignments that are going to take them through how to do a class, okay? It's going to take them through. So you do the teacher training. That's step 2. Step 3, just stay close while they're hosting their first class, while they're marketing it, while they're teaching it, and doing follow-up. They have to do those 3 things. They have to go through one cycle of their business. Step 4, once they have taught their first class, then they're ready. Then I give them the Game Plan book and I give them the Game Plan workbook. So that's step 4, is the book and the workbook. Step 5, point them to oilabilityteam.com and have them click on boot camp and do the boot camp. Do the boot camp videos. You don't have to lead it constantly for every new business builder coming into your organization, okay? So step 5 is you point them to the website, you make sure they have the book and the workbook in their hands, and you have them do the boot camp. As soon as they finish, step 6, train them to train 2 people. Then they do the whole thing all over again. They hand out Game Plan Mini. They do the 3-page teacher training. They stand close while that person does their class. Then when that person finishes, they give them the book and the workbook. They are there to answer questions as that person is going through boot camp just like you guys are. And they train that person to rinse and repeat. Do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again. So do we skip to step 4 if they've already taught a class? Yes. Yep, absolutely. You start with step 4 if they've already taught a class, for sure. But the biggest thing is you train them to train 2 people. So 7 steps. Give them Game Plan Mini. Do the 3-page teacher training. Then be close as they market and host and teach their first class. When they finish, give them the book and the workbook. Have them go through the boot camp at oilabilityteam.com. Train them to train 2 people. Rinse and repeat. That is the system. That's the entire system to Game Plan. And if you need that in a place where it's written out just to see it in your head, if you go to oilabilityteam.com and you go all the way to the bottom of the page, you'll see our logo. Click on that, and it's got all 7 steps written out for you. If you follow that, if you follow that and you're training your leaders to replicate, duplicate, and they're going through the entire system, I don't just hand them the book. They're not ready for the book if they haven't taught a class yet. Get them through that first experience of teaching a class. But as soon as they're done with that, you rinse and repeat. And the secret to the entire system is train two to train two. Okay, so as soon as you finish this boot camp, you have 2 people get books and workbooks, and you train them to train 2 more people. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. If you do this system for 1 year, stick to it for 1 year, okay? And get your leaders to stick to it for 1 year. You do it for 1 year over and over and over and over again. You do the 25-day boot camp, do it again. 25-day boot camp, train 2 people. 25-day boot camp, train 2 people. Do it again and again and again. Train 2 to train 2. You will have an organization of 531,000 people in a year, and you will be a Royal Crown Diamond 1 year from now. That's how this works. Okay, that's how this works. So, Sarah, say you're handing out 30 minis a week. How do you recommend keeping track and following up with those people? You got a big organization. I would say just go with who you're convicted on, the people that are contacting you, or just keep track of it. If you're investing in them, I'll write down their names and I touch base with them. Absolutely. So that is the 7 steps to doing the full boot camp, all right? That's a system, and it absolutely works. And the secret is training 2 to train 2. You can't just do the boot camp and then walk away. You have to tell them, okay, you finish the boot camp. Now I want you to pick 2 leaders and do the same thing with them. Do the same thing with them. You always have to be in training mode. You're always out there doing training or pointing them to the videos on the oilabilityteam.com webpage. Yeah, an organization of 531,000 people in 1 year. That's what happens when you train 2 to train 2. And then those 2 go train 2. And then those 2 go train 2. If you're always training in sets of 2, okay? Are the minis ready? Almost. We're days away. We're very, very close. Amazon has the mini books now. It will not be very long. Somebody asked for the code for iBloom. It's Gameplan. So that is the secret code to get 25% off his Gameplan. Today's homework. Can you believe I actually did a whole boot camp in 30 minutes, guys? I told you I was doing it double time, and I did. I'm bringing in my inner Texan, even though I'm not from Texas. My husband is. Does that count? So today's homework, read chapter 14 in the Gameplan book, and then I want you to do the chapter 14 worksheets. There's a little bonus section in the workbook because I talk about how to budget for your business. I'm very, very adamant about not spending more than you make. So the only investment that you need to start this business is a starter kit. You have to have a starter kit because then you have a distributor number so you can sign people up underneath you, all right? So the only investment you need is that starter kit. Beyond that, everything else can wait for your business. You don't need it right away. Matter of fact, I waited for 8 weeks before I had business cards. I just typed my address out on a piece of paper and cut it out with scissors and put it in my purple bags until one of the people that came to my class made fun of me, and she told me how to do it on my computer in color, and then I used those until I could afford the $20 to order cards on Vistaprint. But I didn't even have business cards. I was an executive with no business cards because I could not afford it yet in my business. So don't spend more than you make. Page 56 in the workbook shows you how I break down my business, what our percentages are for our business, how John and I break it down, and we still stick to that. Even today, even as we just got our check deposited yesterday, we still stick to those ratios and percentages as platinums. So I encourage you to break your check into percentages and budgets and then budget it out. And I also encourage you not to count on your check for the first 6 months of your Young Living business. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they get the check and it immediately goes to things in their house, or they pay debt off with it or whatever. What I like to tell people to do is to take their check and put it right back into their business for the first 6 months. Just put it back in as if it never even existed. You're going to grow a lot faster if you're able to get resources in your hands, like the purple bags or like business cards, or the ability to get more oils, or to put gas in your car to get to classes, or to snag a game plan book for a budding leader. But you've got to budget those out, and you can't do that if you're taking your business income and immediately just dissolving it into your household. So for the first few months, at least 6, I just put it right back into my business as if it's not even there. Another bonus in the workbook, if you're looking through it, is a bit of my leadership training list. So readers are leaders, and the more that you read, the more that you're going to grow. And you guys know, I've told you this before, don't read to the point that you're not out there teaching classes. That's when you've taken it too far. That's when you're not doing it in moderation, all right? But always be training your brain. That's where the audible version of Gameplan is going to be wonderful, because you can go back and listen to the Gameplan training over and over and over again. Even though we're done with our boot camp, you'll be able to listen to it in your car. So it's awesome. Scott says, yeah, but I'd like to get out of debt first. God doesn't want me in debt. I agree with that, Scott. I really do agree. But I really train people. You got to have resources to grow your business. All right, to grow your business. So if you're going to invest in your team, you're going to give your budding leaders books, you're going to work on training with them, you're going to drive to classes, you have to have resources to do that. And you can't count that income before that income is truly there. So I say invest it back in your business and the Lord will grow it. If you're faithful with the small things, he will grow it like crazy and you'll have the ability to pay off your debt. John and I have paid off over $86,000 worth of debt this year. So it is possible to do it if you're sticking to a budget and you're being a good steward of the things that the Lord has given you. So tomorrow, growing your business through blogging. We're going to talk a little bit about blogging. And then the Humzinger is on Monday. This is the one that you're going to want to share with all of your leaders. It's a full, comprehensive FDA compliance training. Full and comprehensive. We are going to hit everything, all right, with the FDA. And I'm going to make you guys very confident in your FDA training. So see you guys tomorrow night at 9, boot camp, double time. We're now halfway through. We're going to go twice as fast. If you don't have a copy of the book or the workbook, go to Amazon and go get them. If you want bulk copies, you can go to oilabilityteam.com and click on bulk orders. And you'll see the button up there and you get them 40% off forever. So love you guys. Thank you for an awesome night of training with the resources. And I will see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock where we talk about blogging, another way to reach out. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. See you tomorrow.